Hey, and welcome to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, and welcome to this FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast episode. Today I'm talking about how to build a healthier relationship with the scale. So in this lesson or in this training, you will learn how to actually learn to recognize difference between emotions and between data and what actually matters. So if you are someone who is jumping up on the scale in the morning and either what kind of number you are seeing, either you are getting very happy or very disappointed. So that kind of your whole day is ruined if you see the number what you don't like to see, but also on the opposite, what most people are not thinking, that you are jumping around when you see that the scale have moved and you have seen a different number on the scale. So this is one of the biggest mistakes and one of the things what I see, that you have a lot of emotions with the scale. So in this lesson we are talking about our relationship with the scale and how to actually improve, what kind of things are affecting to that scale weight and how to deal with. So we all have kind of different relationship with the scale. For some, it's a tool to track your progress. For others, it's a source of stress, frustration, and even dread, but it doesn't have to be this way. So let's start to learn how to view the scale differently and how to use it as a guidance and a guideline for your fitness journey. So I tell you first, I love to tell a little bit stories. So how I measure myself. So I take myself, I wake myself every single day, and I'm just basically collecting data. So it's a one way. I don't like, if I look today, for example, today I jumped on the scale. I was hitting my protein goal. I had workout. I had almost 15,000 steps yesterday, but my scale went up almost 1.5 kilos. So why is that? I had later at night, I was eating more carbs than usually, a lot of sweets. So that was the reason, why that scale weight went up. I probably wasn't, to be honest, in a calorie deficit, but there are days that I know as a matter of fact that I have been in a calorie deficit, but the scale weight is going up. And also on opposite, when I know there are days from the fact I know that I have been taking in more calories than I have burned, but my scale went down. And why is that happening? So I will go to all those reasons a little bit later. But first, what I wanted to start this training is that that scale doesn't define you. So it's just one tool what measures one aspect of your health, and that is a weight. And it doesn't measure your strength. It doesn't measure your commitment. It doesn't measure your actions. It doesn't measure your progress in other areas. It doesn't reflect what you are as a person. So what I often see is that most people, that they are actually, what is the biggest reason why people are stopping? They don't see long-term progress, is that scale weight is not moving. You feel so frustrated. You think that the thing what you are actually doing is not working. So that makes you feel frustrated. And as a reason, you are thinking that what is the word? What is the point? to keep going because scale is not going down. I'm not making any progress. And that is the thing what most people don't understand, that you might be making progress in other areas than scale weight, but you just don't realize it. And that's why scale weight loss and fat loss are two different things. And how to actually know if you are losing fat or if you are losing weight. So weight is one way to measure your fat loss progress. If you think that there are other things would measure more accurately, for example, how your clothes are fitting. So if you feel that you see that your clothes are fitting better, you are going down with the pant size, your belt, you have to use one hole more, you gotta put it on a little bit tighter. So those are all signs that you are actually making progress. You are losing fat, but you might not see it on a scale in the beginning, especially in the beginning or at some point of your journey. So what is then how you use the weight? Weight is only one way. And if you are making any other progress, if you see difference in your pictures, if you see measurements, you take some tape measurements, like what is even more accurate, more data you are kind of collecting, more informed decisions you can make if you're that thing, what you are actually doing, if it's actually working or not. And this is one of the lacking parts. What most people are missing is that you don't take any pictures, because you might be in a situation that you don't like to take pictures. You don't want to see yourself with underwear. You maybe don't want to even watch yourself in a mirror, or you don't like the way how you are looking. And that is causing that there's no way that you are going to take pictures from yourself. But this is exactly that. It's a tool. It's even you don't enjoy at the moment what you are doing. But for most of my clients, or almost all of them, I ask them to do it. Like, obviously you don't need to, if you really can't stand it, it's not necessary, but it's so beneficial. You don't need to take pictures every time, but you are at some point, you are so thankful that you did it. Even you don't enjoy it, just close your eyes, take that picture. You don't need to watch it after. Save it somewhere that you have it later. And this is one thing, like the clients who I have been working for longer, I encourage them to take those pictures. All of them are not doing it, to be honest, but those who have done it, even it doesn't feel good, they are so thankful later on that they have done it, even they didn't feel like it. Because then if you, let's say that 3 months, 6 months from now, you are taking another picture, how you are looking. And when you have something where you can compare yourself, what you have been, how you have been in the past, and now you are able to see that how much progress you have been actually making, how your body have changed. And this is that giving that feeling that you are actually making progress. You might have lost less weight on a scale as you think it ideally should be, but if you have something, you have pictures, like you might feel like that, you have your clothes feel kind of a little bit different, but it's never visible. So if you have something, what is visible, you are seeing the picture, how you are losing, your body is changing. That is giving you belief that you know that you are doing the right things. You don't need to change anything. So because time is working for you, not against you. So that's why take pictures. Tape measurements are other way, like just simple tape measurements. When you take them, like clothes are also good indicator, which is kind of the same thing. But when you see that number, if it's a couple inches, couple centimeters, you see that it's a fact. It's not just a feeling that there might be something. You see that it's something what you can see. And when you are doing those things, when you see that some of these things, either you're seeing picture improvements in your pictures, you are losing some inches, those are signs that you are losing actually fat. Scale weight is one way to measure that progress. So let's then talk about like weight fluctuations and how you should actually be using that scale weight as a one way to measure your fat loss progress. So it's totally normal to see your weight is going up and down. It's usually daily. It can be during the day, like all the time like that, it's not affecting, it's not sign that you are doing something wrong. I tell you a couple examples. Now, I was recently, a couple of weeks ago, with the Italian national ice hockey team, and we were waking those guys every single morning before practice, and later they were practicing 2 times per day, and after second practice. So there were guys that lost within 1 day 3 to 4 kilograms, which is like it's almost like 10 pounds, 8 pounds, if you are using pounds in a day. And why is that? It's all because of water. So why it's happening? Like for guys, what was causing that weight fluctuation was that obviously in the morning, some guys had a little bit bigger breakfast when they come into practice. Then they were sweating a lot, and maybe eating something and sweating even more within the second practice. So there was a 4 kilos weight loss. So they were very dehydrated at the moment. So obviously then they were eating, hydrating, and next morning weight was more or less same. But they were not in a kind of trying to lose fat or anything. It's just a matter of hydration. So that was the reason. Within 1 day, almost 10 pounds, that weight was going up and down, depending how much you were sweating. And there was none of those guys were losing, as you know, that you don't lose fat within 1 day, but scale weight was totally different on even on the same day. And then guys were going 1 day, they were having an afternoon off, and some of them went to eat for pizza or eating a little bit later than usually. Next morning, scale weight was up like 1-2 kilos. What was it day before? So those are all kind of reasons. Like obviously they are not, nobody was gaining fat 2 kilos, but those were just the reasons why that your scale weight might be fluctuating daily, depending what you are doing. It doesn't mean if you are in a calorie deficit or not, but that is just an example, like why it's happening, and those changes, they are from water retention. That's by far the most common one. So what are other reasons why you might be seeing scale weight going up? Like usually it's water retention, but there are some other factors, like for example workouts. So this was something what I didn't know, but now I have learned it, and I see that trend every time when I have, for example, harder strength training or harder workout, and that day after harder workout, even I know from a fact that I have been eating well. I have just had a hard workout, but next day I see scale weight is going up. And why is that happening? So when you are doing a harder workout, so for example, strength training, when you train your bigger muscles, like for example, for me, if I train my legs or back, which are like relatively big muscles. So you are causing, when you are training like strength training, you are damaging that your muscle tissue. So to muscle to get stronger, you are damaging it every single time when you are strength training it. So you are pushing yourself off the limits, and you cause damage in your muscle tissue. And then when your body, it's a process to get stronger, is that your body, when you are recovering, when you are resting, it's repairing those damaged muscle tissues. And during that process, your body needs something called glycogen. So it's a form of carbs which is stored in your muscles. So, and during that process, glycogen is something like that. It needs, every gram of glycogen needs 3 grams of water to store it. So let's say that you damage your muscle tissues. Your muscle storages are full of glycogen, because your muscle needs glycogen to store. And let's say that you have a place for 250 grams of glycogen, which is stored in your muscles to help you to repair those damaged muscle tissues. And that 250 grams of glycogen needs 750 grams of water in order to repair those muscle tissues. So your scale weight is going 1 kilogram up just basically because of water retention. So this is the one of the reasons, like if you see that scale weight is going up on after harder workout days, that's the reason why that scale weight is fluctuating. Other thing, like an opposite example, is that for example, alcohol. Like if I if I say that I go out on a day before, I drink a lot of alcohol. Next day, and I know that for a fact that I haven't been in a calorie deficit. But next day, when I step up on the scale, I see that my scale weight is going down. And I'm like, holy shit, that went well. Nothing happened. I lost weight. But alcohol is something that it's dehydrating you. So it takes that even you drink some liquid, it's taking that water away. So your body is holding temporarily less water. So as water retention is working opposite with alcohol. And usually, for example, with alcohol, if I go out, I drink more alcohol than usually. And next day, my scale weight might be lower, but then it's jumping back. It's higher, maybe 2-3 days after I have been drinking that alcohol. Even those days I didn't. So that's the reason why that scale weight it's fluctuating. It's for women. It's that time of the month, like when you have your menstrual cycle, like your periods, it's very individual. But for most women, it's affecting what time of the month it is, and there are some weeks that your scale weight is going up. Also, your sleep, all kind of things like that, they are affecting your scale weight. Then how to feel like that? If you feel frustrated every single time that when your scale is going up, you can imagine how much frustration you are feeling. And but to understand that everything is totally normal. It's part of life. If you are, for example, what I was telling about that glycogen and carbs, if you are a person who is for some reason like those low carb diet, I think that is one of the biggest reasons why those low carb diets are so popular, because they make you lose scale weight in the beginning and a lot. So if you leave your carbs away, it doesn't mean that you are losing. They are better way to lose fat, but you are losing a lot faster scale weight, because when you are, let's say that you are a person who is eating carbs normally, and we have that they are going to be as a glycogen in your body, and every gram of glycogen, like you learned earlier, needs 3 grams of water. For some, now you are starting to restrict your carbs. You don't have any glycogen, so you have less energy, and that causes that when you are still keep moving, your glycogen storages are getting empty. And at the same time, that doesn't mean that you are losing any fat, but you are losing a lot of water weight. So your scale is going down relatively fast. And then at some point, if you don't have any glycogen anymore to lose, you are not going to lose scale weight faster, as you have to still be in a calorie deficit to lose that fat. So how much is then, if you don't know how much is 1 kilo or 1 pound of fat in a calorie. So it's the only way to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit, and 1 kilogram of fat is around 7,000 calories or 7,500, depends a little bit on person. So if you're using pounds, it's 3,500 per pound, calories per pound. So that is the amount what you need to be losing fat. And at scale weight, you could be losing, like I said, used in those examples earlier, you could be losing 3-4 kilos, like up to 10 pounds, even within one day, without losing actually fat. But so this is just understanding why that scale is fluctuating, what are the reasons behind, and how to feel that, remove a little bit that frustration away. So don't let that scale control your happiness. So it can achieving your weight goal, it can be happy moment, but remember that you are more than that number. So what are then more important are kind of those, if your goal is to lose weight, or you might most people want to lose fat, but they are using only weight as a way to measure that fat loss progress. And think it like what are those kind of non-scale victories? Like what are helping you in the long term? Are those your actions which are leading to that fat loss or weight loss, what you always wanted? So if you are able to do your workout. You are able to hit your protein goal. You are able to hit your step goal. You make better decisions with your food choices. You chose something what is maybe a little bit healthier. You were able to go for a quick minute walk or 5-minute walk. So those are all kind of things what you can affect, what you can do today, your actions. Those are the most important things. And once those your actions are aligned, that scale weight and weight loss will follow. So this is something like kind of mindset shift what you need to be making. And what is then important is that how to use that scale in an accurate way. So scale weight, it's only data you are collecting. You should not have, I know that it's easier said than done, but you should not have some kind of emotions with it. It's just one number you are tracking. It's like number that you are tracking. Whatever you are tracking your steps, you are tracking your calories, you are tracking your protein intake. And it's not that you have some kind of emotion. So if you are, let's say that what I try to track myself, I track my steps, I track my protein intake. And if I hit let's say my protein goal is 150 grams per day. And if there are days that I get to 100 grams, it's not that I get so pissed off and angry about for myself that why I didn't hit it. It's a way, it's just a number that, okay, next day I try to improve. And it's same thing that if I get to hit my goal, it's just that's a good way. That's how it should be. But there is no like real emotion within. It's just the data I track and then trying to implement strategies that are helping me to achieve that goal. And with the scale weight, it's kind of same thing. It's just one data point, and how you can actually use it to see if you are losing fat is that what I highly recommend is to learn to weigh yourself every single day, but use only one number per week. So take your average number per week. So why is that important? Because there are those fluctuations. They are every single day different. So for some reason, you might be eating later at night. You have been eating maybe more carbs than usually. Maybe you are drinking some alcohol, or you had a harder workouts, all kind of possible. You had more sodium. Those are all reasons what are affecting to your scale weight. But when you have one number per week, and then you see that where the trend is going, that is a pretty good indicator of how your fat and weight loss is going in a long term. It's not every single week, but if you have, let's say that I have one average number per week and compare that average number for next week, if your progress within a long term, let's say that it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, or even more, it's your scale weight number on average should go down. What is a good amount of calorie deficit? If you are going like sustainable, realistic expectation is 0.5 kilo per week. So it's 1 pound per week. And that is like, it means that you are minus 500 calories deficit every single day. So let's say that if you have lot weight to lose, it could be more. But for most people, sustainable, that is somewhere what is realistic and what is also sustainable. So it can be different. But when you are using that average number per week, you don't have that frustration that why the scale is fluctuating, why it's going up and down. But it's just the data, what you are collecting. You see where the trends are going, and when you are doing. If the trend is not going down, let's say after 2 months, it's still you are eating very little calories. You are not seeing that scale weight on average scale weight is not going down. Then honestly, you probably are not in a calorie deficit. Or then there are some other reasons like that you are started your working out, you are gaining muscle mass, you are holding temporarily more water. So it could be there is no weight loss. No measurements are not saying you are not seeing difference in the pictures, then you are in a plateau. But before you have checked in everything of these things, you don't tell to yourself that you are not losing anything, you are not making progress. Because for most people, you are making they are probably making progress, but they don't realize that they are making that progress. So use that scale as a tool, not to judge you. So it's because you are more than number on the scale. So you are a person who is like, you are doing your best. You are learning, you are growing, you are trying to get stronger. So there are so many other things that are affecting, and that scale is just not the most accurate or the best way how to follow your progress. So these are all things that you have to consider when you are doing, and setting those realistic expectations. So what you probably are seeing in online, like you see those crazy weight loss which are promising like to lose a lot of scale weight in a short period of time. And that is possible. It's not hard to get scale going down. But the thing is that it's never going to be sustainable. You're never going to keep those results. So I just to wrap up this thing, I tell you quick stories from my clients who was participating for a weight loss competition. So for some reason, she decided to participate. She thought that that's a great motivation for herself, to motivate that she have to be in some amount of scale weight. What was it, like 150 pounds or whatever was the goal weight, and she needed to be on that date, like that. She had set that timeline for weight loss goal, and we were like, when we started to work, I kind of lied to her. I was lying to her. I said that I can get you there, but it was a little bit too much, to be honest, to be realistic. But I started to use methods with a sustainable way, but obviously the results were not as fast as they should be. And then there was like 4 days missing, and she needed to lose 9 pounds, and she didn't have too much weight to lose. But I said, don't panic. Don't we will get you there. And when you are manipulating, you are sweating everything out. You leave all carbs away. You manipulate your fiber, sodium intake, and basically you just sweat out that water. Your scale weight is going down. And like for her, we cut her. She was winning that bet. She actually won even some gas prizes to hit that scale number. But the way how she felt, she said that was the worst feeling. Like that was her weight, what she wanted to be. And she thought that it's going to make her so happy. And by the time she hit that weight, she said that she felt the worst ever in her life when she hit that goal number, because there was only restriction. And those couple of days, they were hard. You are sweating everything out. Basically, if you want to do it extreme things, you don't even take a shower. You just dry that sweat off and limit your water intake, everything. So you can get that scale going down, but it doesn't mean that you are actually feeling the way what you think that number is representing you. Because for most people, that number, especially women, it's a number what is coming from the past. Like she was in mid-40s, and that number was that she was thinking that she was in her 20s. She felt great. She had a pair of jeans. She was able to fit when she was weighing that 150 pounds or that number. And she thought that she was chasing that same feeling. And what was that number was representing that feeling, what she thought that she need to achieve that same number to feel that same way than she was in her 20s. So, but the lesson, what she learned, is that number doesn't mean that you are actually feeling the same way. And that was the worst day of her life, how she felt, despite she was hitting her weight loss goal. So remember that it's usually a memory from the past. And you think when you achieve that scale number, what you think will make you happier, it's not the scale number, what that number of that machine is giving you. It's that feeling, what you are doing, how you are doing it. And that is like, obviously, weight loss, it's important, but it's not the only thing that matters. So for this, I'm hosting next days starting from August 21st. So if you are listening this before that, Fitter You After 35 challenge. And there's a link in show notes or in my social media everywhere to register and join for that challenge. And in this challenge, we are going to talk about all kind of things, what are causing you, what are making you to help you to build healthier, to get fitter after 35. So this is kind of my present to give you. I'm going to teach you all the methods I use with my coaching clients. And it's a 5-day boost to start to increase your success rates. Doesn't matter where you are in your fitness journey. And I hope to see you. There's going to be 5 days live lessons with me with some mini challenges every single day. So you can expect that it's a 20-30 minute live session with some mini challenges where you are going to see why you have failed in the past and what to do to increase your success rates. So I hope to see you in that challenge. Challenge is in my private Facebook group, FitMitTuro Fitness Friends for Life. And all instructions, if you join for the challenge, you find a link for registration page, and it's totally for free. So I really, really hope to see you inside there. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you had an amazing day and talk to you soon.
Hold up, friend. Do you love FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast.